the people that we had, which were very entertaining, and the audience loved that, but they weren't chefs. And they were
answer questions like, how could I sub this recipe for this allergy or this preference?
And they had made some mistakes in technical questions. If people asked them, how do I see it, or how do I do this? And they didn't have great cutting skills. So the knife skills, which is immediate when people in the industry would be in there. So when we started looking for the next person to host these shows, we had sort of put the word out, but you can't run an ad in the classifieds for looking for a chef that can conduct live cooking shows as a host in front of an intimate audience that will, dine and ask questions, yada, yada, yada. That position didn't exist. So we were a little stumped, and we had talked to some different people to put the word out, but we knew we needed a chef. Decided, let's find a chef and we will then train them how to do these shows. And the key ingredient is we needed a chef that had a great personality. And so that was our criteria. And very early on,
chef with personality.
yeah. So the chef that we had at the restaurant, Chef de Cuisine, a fellow named Mike Kelly, very talented guy.
At our Hingham restaurant.
He was at our Hingham restaurant. He came to us one day and he said, I understand you're looking for someone in, that cooking show you guys have. We said, yeah. And he said, I worked with this girl. She's a great chef and she's really a lot of fun. And I think she'd be perfect in that studio. And Mom said, have her give us a call. So
how do you know Mike Kelly, Liz?
So I met Mike Kelly when I started working at Tosca and Hingham in 2004. He and I actually worked the salad and dessert station, and he worked either first or second man on that line.
So when you first hear about Rustic Kitchen, what year do you think that is?
Probably the year that Mike told me about it. I mean, for the most part, at that point in my life, I was just drowning myself in work all the time. So I never went out.
At the bakery on the Cape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I was the pastry chef at Pan d'Avignon Bakery in Hyannis at that time.
So time goes on and we don't hear from Liz.
So Mike Kelly had originally reached out to me and said, I have an opportunity for you. And I'm not going to lie. I at that time, being at the bakery, I was going in at 1:00 in the morning and then walking out of there at 2 in the afternoon. And I would just go home and crash, and all normal people are functioning while I'm sleeping.
Living in Braintree and driving all the way down the Cape?
No, I was living in Hyannis at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was in Hyannis, and my life was just like the night shift. It was like third shift. And then he had called me. He may have just texted me at that point again. And I just didn't respond. And it was Chef Kevin Long who called me and read me the riot act and said, don't be an A. Call these people back.
Okay, so yeah, he was the executive chef at Tosca.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that part of it. So that spurred you to finally reach out and call us.
Yes.
So do you first meet in Hingham or Boston?
Hingham.
You meet in Hingham. Okay. Do you think
No,
we met was in Boston.
No, it was in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember sitting. You came into Boston finally. We kind of showed you what we were going to do. We showed you the room, and then we sat in a high booth in the bar, and just kind of said, "Let's just talk. Tell us about yourself." Now, I'd never seen Liz. She had piercings all around her ears.
A lot of them.
There was a chain connecting to the nose.
She took that one off.
She just talked, and we just talked, and we had some couple of glasses of wine, and we were just talking. And before we know it, an hour had gone by. And at that point, I think Liz said, I just don't think I can do this. I can't be in front of an audience and do that. And I just turned to her and I said, you just did, and you killed it. I'm getting ahead of myself. What did you think? What was your response?
Now, your memory of this happening in Hingham, this meeting?
No, so the first time I believe I met Jim was in Hingham. We sat in that corner booth right next to the kitchen and had seafood, and he brought up
104. Yeah.
And only met Jim there, and he gave me the rundown and told me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what was happening, what was expected, what the future was. and then invited me to come into Boston and like be a part of that. And that's when I met you, Kathy, and saw what the operation really looked like at that time.
Oh yeah, Liz, I have no memory of that whatsoever. So you didn't leave that much of an impression. That
Mike was in Hingham, and I had met you at Hingham, and I saw Mike, and Mike had made the formal introduction. It was brief. I was probably still asleep from work.
I probably thought I was interviewing you for the kitchen.
That's the reason I mentioned the earrings and some tattoos, because that's not.
She used to have that face tattoo you had removed, right?
Yeah.
Tears.
It's true. The dagger and then the tears on the other side.
I think Jimmy was just a little bit nervous, like, I'm not sure, we're a family. And I'm saying, no, I think she's awesome. And I think she would do great. Funny.
Yeah, funny and cute. And, we were...
I think everyone would love you.